just use this one. Give myself a warm-up. There you are. And let's change the background. Oh, she fit. Cool. No, got more followers that came off stream. That's good. Let's grab your colors. Where's the blood? There it is. Alright, let's get started. I drew everything I need to draw, right? Yes. Well, actually, I can add this. Let's see. There we go. No, nothing crazy, but something. Hello, Pablo. Just touching this up a bit before I start coloring. Hello, Ben. Not so little piggy. Nah, not gonna game. I've changed my schedule so that it's more of a free day now for Saturdays. But maybe I'll game after I'm done with this pick or whatever else I decide to do. But for now, I'm just gonna draw. But if I get done with this early, then maybe I'll play a game. How am I doing? I'm doing alright. I finished the jam picture this morning. Or more like, I was done with it already. Like, I even recorded myself, and I even rendered it out and all that. Speaking of which, it is currently on YouTube, but I just haven't posted it on the art pages yet. So if you ever go to my YouTube page, you can watch the speed paint for that picture. But yeah, I was working on the comic page for that since it was a bonus that I decided to do. And yeah, so I was working on that till 7, and then I woke up at like 10:30, and now I'm here. Actually, I think I went back to sleep and woke up at 11, but yeah, now I'm here. There we go. Hope everyone's doing alright themselves. You're doing well. That's good. But yeah, the jam drive was fun. I was a bit torn between showing her butt or showing her belly. I think eventually I'll have to do like a butt-focused drive where it's only like the butt or something that gets bigger. I'll just have to make it clear that that one will be butt-focused. And somehow I missed your tongue. Make the cheek a little bit more pudgy. we go. You're just doing chores. Strays. There we go. Let's grab you. You can do those later. Those are gray. I think they match your pants. You're just bored at work, Blazing Fox. Like, oh, I'll watch this fat pig get colored. Do Thanks, yeah. Like I said, I was a bit torn on which to focus on, because it's hard to only do one or the other. I think if I do another, or if I ever do a butt-focused weight gain drive, I'll make it clear that the butt will be focused on, so that way people are more aware. Because I think if I don't say that in the beginning, then it makes it harder for it to go on or be supported and stuff like that without some kind of warning. Yeah, because it's either going to be one or the other. That's why I at least threw in that one page of Jam's butt getting bigger. So that way, for the last pics, it was at least emphasized that her butt was getting bigger. Thank you for the follow, Big Cat Jen. But yeah, if I ever do like a solely butt focused or whatever body part, I'll make it clear so that way people know what they're getting themselves into. That's why I at least put her butt on the comic page. Wasn't much, but it was something. Oh, right. Dude, Tomimi, but it's just her tail getting bigger and fatter. It'll be similar to that one anime. I forget the name of it, but there's this one anime of a dragon girl. At least I think she was a dragon. And she gets frustrated that her tail got fatter. And she tries to like work it out, but nothing changes. Yeah, I forget the name of it. I'd have to look it up. Like, I'm sure I could find it if I looked it up on YouTube. That reminds me, I need to get the next books for plus-sized elf. Book itself was alright. I wish it kind of focused a little bit more on the weight gain stuff, since that was like kind of the focus. But it wasn't a horrible book or anything like that. I definitely enjoyed it. But I think Shin plus size elf is the next one. No, it's not Dragon Maid. No, it wasn't Dragon Maid. It was a different series. You got Arby's? Arby's is good. They got some good stuff. Grab this. Seems to be the same color as your pants. And grab your eyes. Cool. So the speed paint for the jam pick is on YouTube. I'll have to make a post for it on the art sites a little later. Post feast jam. Good luck with that. When did I cover your lipstick? It's the same as that. Okay. No, they two are the same color. Okay. I'm gonna play Dead Space. That'll be fun. Minara Friends is okay. Yeah. Minara Friends. Yeah, that was the anime. I'll be honest. That would if that was a little bit more focused on throughout the anime, I probably would be more inclined to watch it. I still might, just because I like the Dragon Girl's design. So I'll have to remember to watch that. I'll put it on a list. Still a few things I want to watch. Yes, I am coloring a tummy today. Oh, you changed your name on Picarda. Okay. I think I got everything I needed for now. Oh yeah, I should probably get her shirt. Hold on. Let me delete this. Yeah, let me get this real quick. Do I have it in here? No, I do not. Here it is. I have no idea how I did this before. We're gonna find out. Actually, I can just soft 100. I probably decolored it. That is not the button I was looking for. So we got a little That's a soft at 100. Yeah, okay. Not gonna complain as long as it works. Okay, next we'll do this. This. Alright. This part won't take too long. Or at least it shouldn't. Let's see how her stomach looks if I use this. Sometimes you don't need to. Yeah, I'm not gonna need that color. Or I'm not gonna have to color that. Saves me time. Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush looks fun. Reminds me of I think it's called No Straight Roads. I'll have to check it out more. I think both are good though. I wouldn't say one is better than the other because they both have different mechanics. I definitely like the bosses, or yeah, some of the bosses I've seen from Hi-Fi Rush. But the bosses from No Straight Roads are also fun. I definitely like the VTuber boss. Her and DJ Subatomic Supernova. No Straight Roads did good for a budget game. Especially compared to Hi-Fi Rush, because you could tell Hi-Fi Rush has a lot more budget. Especially with the animations and all that. But yeah, I'm glad that it's a good game in general. Luckily, there's not really much to color here, or to lighten. Most of it is on her skin, but her skin's already the shade that I use. Or it's just as light as the shade. Okay. Should probably save. Let's get a little bold with this. Do. Let's update the title for this. Feels like a chill day. Why am I seeing a KFC? Oh my god, what if that was all the ads I ended up getting because of the types of artwork I've been drawing? Is that even a thing? Is that even in my tags? I should put that. Just weight gain drawing. Or weight gain art, whatever. Furries. They know their audience. Yes, big stuffed vampire pig. A vamp pig. That'd be funny if it was just food ads. Be like, why are you only getting food ads? Like, well, long story. Or actually, not that long. I probably explain it really easily. It would be like watching the old Cool Whip commercial where the kid makes all that stuff. Well, the Cool Whip guy makes it for him. And then when his mom asks him, like, how'd you do that? He'd be like, well, that'd just be me. With the Italian Colonel. I remember seeing the word Colonel written for the first time in Mega Man Battle Network because there was a character named Colonel, but I didn't know that that's how you spell Colonel, so I kept calling him Colonel for the longest time until I realized that was how Colonel was spelled. I was like, what the fuck? Why is Colonel spelled like that? It's like, how to deceive a child on word spelling. Show them Colonel and Pterodactyl. Totally fuck with them. It's like you can teach them all the ways of how spelling is and the sounds of letters and shit. Give them those two words and just fuck with them. Just totally destroy their mind on how words are used. Or the word knight with the K. Or show them knuckle. Okay, I had a teacher in middle school named, her name was Miss, the way she would pronounce her name was Miss Knipple. But given all the years of learning how to say words with a K in it, where the K is usually silent, of course, the entire class called her Miss Nipple in the beginning. But she had to correct everybody and say, no, it's Knipple. And everyone in the class was like, sure it is. Sure it is. And I shit you not. Like, that was probably one of the funniest fucking things that ever happened. I'm like, bullshit. This was a long ass time ago, so. But yeah, that was my middle school history teacher. Which, ironically, she didn't even know I was in the class, despite me sitting directly in front of her. She straight up said that. She's like, I had no idea he was even in the class. Because I didn't speak up, I didn't really... Like, I would answer questions if I knew it and shit like that, but like, I don't know, I just didn't... I chose to not stand out. Busy doing my own shit. But yeah, that was a fun time. Now that I think about it, in high school I had a history teacher, and I like barely did any of the work in that class. I don't know what the fuck my problem was in that class. I just checked out in that history class. Somehow I passed, but I like super checked out. Because I guess I just did enough of the tests and stuff like that I just passed. But like, I know damn well I didn't do a lot of the homework. Like, some of it I turned in and all that, but I knew there was like a huge chunk that I did not do. And somehow I passed. That was a weird class to check out in. I don't know. Maybe just kind of like put two and two together. He's like, all right, so he's like barely doing the homework, but he's passing the tests and shit. So something's up here. I think that was the only time I ever did that in a class. Like all the other classes, I was perfectly fine. Well, it's not like I got crazy good grades or anything like that, but I think that was the only class I ever did that in. Huh. Interesting name. Gustav sounds cool. I think the only reason why I think Gustav sounds cool is because of the Yu-Gi-Oh card Gustav Max. Or I think it was like Rail Train Gustav Max or whatever. It's like, let's just make this train sound fucking epic. Yeah, it's like Super Train Cannon Gustav Max. I was like, okay. And then that train is like a really good card if you know what you're doing. It's like, I'm gonna deal a shit ton of damage, then I'm gonna put these two together to make the fucking train and just shoot you with 2,000 damage. For free. Have they ever made a card that deals double effect damage? God, if that card ever existed. I hope it get banned immediately. I'd be like, no. Fuck that card, no. Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the game where if you can live past turn 1 or turn 0, it might as well be called turn 0. If you can live past turn 0, then someone fucked up. I'll say turn 1 at the most. If you can live past turn 1, then you might have an interesting game. Yeah, there's Cannon Soldier, who ended up becoming broken later down the line. Well, more that the mechanics of the game allowed him to become broken, as they added in more mechanics. But by himself, it's like, he's like, okay, I deal 500 damage if I sacrifice a monster. Which back in the day you didn't want to do. Unless you just want to take cheap shots at your opponent. Like little chip damage. Yeah, OCG has a interesting rule set with a lot of their cards. I find it strange that there are some cards that exist in TCG that don't exist in CG in OCG, and vice versa. It's like, why do we have cards that only exist in these two formats? Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Big Sea Snake, which one? The JoJo archetype. But yeah, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely the Marvel vs. Capcom of card games. Where there's so much ridiculous shit that happens that you kinda gotta know everything, and you're almost pushed into playing meta to a degree. Like, even if you're playing casually, there's like a handful of cards that you still have to use just so you don't get completely obliterated. Like, not even like staple cards at this point, they're just like required. It's like having required readings, you just have to play with those cards or else you're fucked. Geek Boy? I'll have to look that up. Dude, they have Exodia decks where you can literally get all pieces of Exodia on the first turn. Like, it's made solely for that one job. And it is very efficient. Like, getting Exodia isn't even hard anymore. I mean, it hasn't been hard for quite some time. But definitely not nowadays. Like, people have made decks on summoning Hierarchy, the creator god. And that card requires all three god cards to be played. Well, be played and then sacrificed for it. I don't know why it replayed itself. But let's play something else. Let's do this one. Yeah, there are decks that just draw the entire deck. I remember... I mean, it might be unbanned now, but I remember my brother showing me a deck with Morphing Jar. And it was just focused on... It was just solely focused on Morphing Jar, and all it did was just play cards to continuously flip it face up and face down over and over and over in a single turn. And it would just deck out your opponent. It's like your opponent's entire deck is gone on turn one. Yeah, it was limited. Like, you could only play one Morphing Jar, but it was a whole deck focused solely on that one Morphing Jar, but you could do it on turn one, even if you didn't have it in your hand. Oh yeah, the tournaments cards, the Ishizu cards. It's like, yeah, good, or Ishizu deck or whatever. Yeah, it's like, good luck with that. I just laughed that they didn't bring back Exchange of the Spirit at that point, unless they already did. But yeah, I was just like, oh, Ishizu's cards, cool. They buffed up all of her cards, awesome. Like, part of me would almost put in the original Agito card, just or Agito, however it's pronounced, just to fuck with people, because then confuse them on which Agito it was. It's like, okay, I'll play Agito, and they like negate it, not realizing it's the first one or something, because you know how quick trigger people are in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, like when the Ichizu deck and Tiermit cards or whatever combo first released, basically it was just such a mess on the board that people had to keep track of where their cards were, because so many cards were triggering all at once. That was like, look, I don't even know what the fuck is happening in this game. Like, even the announcers were getting, like, or the commentators for one of the tournaments was getting confused on what was happening. Because they're like, okay, so this happened, which triggered this, but then all of these trigger, so then these happen in this chain. And this was all in one turn, too. It wasn't even, like, multiple things, multiple turns. It was all in the same turn. So it's like, yeah, good luck with that. I'll be honest, the only time I've ever really felt threatened with a Cyber Dragon deck is just because of Cyber Dragon Infinity. That one card is the only card that pisses me off out of the entire Cyber Dragon deck. Like, there are ways around it, but you gotta jump through a little bit of hoops just to deal with it. Maybe not nowadays, because I think nowadays it's a lot easier to deal with. But back when it first released, it's like, fuck that card. Luckily, it was pretty easy to trick people into using its negating effect and then killing it. But if you're like really tight on or limited on cards that you could use, then you're fucked with that card. Hungry Burger has its own archetype. Ah. That's cool. I always laughed when people bring up Hungry Burger, because it's like, it was like a nothing card, but it's like one of the cards that everybody remembers. It's like one of those OG cards that you just remember. Barely anybody used it, if at all. But it's like, you immediately think of, oh yeah, hamburger recipe, and then Hungry Burger. And there you go. Ghost Trick was cool. Yeah, rituals are interesting because they get support, but at the same time they don't. Unless it's for like a specific archetype. Like, there's no like, well, there are like some universal ritual cards, but for the most part, unless it's part of like extremely powerful archetype or monster typing like dragons, then it's most likely not going to get support. Or like decent support. Like, I'm still waiting for Gate Guardian to get support. It's like, come on. All the other OG cards are getting support. Fucking Dark Magician and Blue Eyes have gotten like 6+ support cards. Or sets of support cards, I should say. But nah, nothing for Gate Guardian yet. One of the most OG boss monsters you can think of. Oh, really? It's getting a retrain finally? Cool. Hopefully it does well, or hopefully it has a decent effect. Like, fucking finally. Only took, like, what, 20 years? Almost 20 years? Then again, I'm not surprised. A lot of the fairy tale cards haven't released yet, either. I just want Big Bad Wolf. That's all I want. Come on, give me the Vor card. They already released Gingerbread House, so just give me the Big Bad Wolf. I like Gishkis. Gishkis were fun. I like the Hieratic Dragons. I think they were a fun deck. I like that they did get a small bit of support. Okay, let me save. There's not a chubby girl monster? I'm pretty sure there is. There has to be. At this point. I'm sure there's one. I would be very surprised if there isn't. I'll have to look, because I'm pretty sure there's one. I can't for the life of me think of one. But I'm pretty sure there's at least one. Like, I would be very surprised if there wasn't. Then again, I guess that depends on what you mean by chubby. Because our standards of chubby could be different from another person's standards of chubby. Oh, if you're asking like the support people, they're not gonna know. Like, that's likely something you're gonna have to go out of your way to look for yourself. Because there's over 10,000 cards, they're not gonna know. Especially since a lot of the people you ask don't even make the cards. And a lot of them are just like artists that don't even get credit. Yeah, if you ask support, they probably don't know. Like, now you're just making me interested that I will actively go and seek it out. But I could have sworn there's been like a few. I could be wrong. And if I am, I would be very surprised. Going like, huh, that really isn't. That's weird. And then again, it kind of depends on if we even know the genders of most of the monsters who are fat. Because a lot of them you'll just never know. Because Lord help you if there's any lore in that game. Well, like I said, it also depends on if we even know the genders of most of the monsters. And if machines count. But yeah. If not, then, you know, more reason for me to keep making fat cards. It's like, oh, well, I guess if Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't know, I'm just gonna assume Magic the Gathering doesn't have too many fat female monsters or creatures. Just means I have to do it myself at this point. Well, if I'm the only one doing it, then good. I mean, I'm sure there's some card game that has some fat female characters that's indie. But if I am the only one, then damn, that's interesting. Hello. Welcome. Cat is now inside the hoodie. Good. Keep Cat warm. I'm just gonna draw Lunar Light monsters a bit bigger. Yeah. I want to take time to work on more cards. Because I think either next month or the month after I would like to release another set. Start cranking those out more. Because the next set is cream-filled cards. Not all of the cream-filled girls, it'll only be the first 5. But they'll get some support and stuff like that. It will either be the first 5 or however many I feel should fit in there. And then I'll have like other support cards from. It'll have like new support or new cards, and then I'll have like some support cards from previous sets. So like I don't know, whatever I-Hat cards get added or Marcy or something. Like I had the set made previously, but I didn't release it because it had like. I think it just had way too much going on because it had like 3 or 4 forms for each of the fruit girls of the first 5, and then it had like some support cards, but then some of the girls needed their own support. And I just kind of like went back and I was like, let me rethink this. But nowadays with the newer way I'm doing the cards, I'll have a better grasp on it. Because I already had Kiwi's card get released for the special set. So Kiwi and Jam are the first Fruit Girl card. Well, Kiwi, Jam, and Eden are the first Fruit Girl cards released. Okay, I think I got everything I want. Welcome to Thibal Studies. Yes. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to work on Nun Becky. Hopefully later tonight, since now I pretty much did everything except work on a I-Hat / Black Circus comic page. So maybe tonight once I crank out one of those. Likely gonna work on Black Circus. Switch this. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of different kink cards and stuff like that. Some of them I tease in a Ask the Cast. Can I bring that one up? Let me check. Let me check it first before I put it on stream. Where are you? Should be in here. Ask the Cast. Let's see. Which number were you? No. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I can show this one. Let me bring it up here. So is this one. One of them's already been in a set, the Bad Bomber one, but the other two haven't been done yet. So yeah, like there's future stuff planned. It's just a matter of getting to work on it. Because you gotta remember, I'm doing comics, Fat Lovers Club stuff, occasionally videos, whatever random art that I decide to do for an art set, for like a drive or even just a set on its own to sell. And then working on a card game where every set is 52 cards, or 54 cards. So yeah. I do a lot. I am but one person. But that's okay. Luckily, a lot of the support cards are fairly easy to do, depending on the art, of course. But yeah, I can only put my attention to so many things at once. There will have to be a day, though, where I'm just making card art for cards. Like, this picture could be a card at some point. Probably make it part of the vampire set or something. Maybe give it some food card classification or something. I don't know. Whatever I decide to do with it. But yeah, like this could be some kind of support card for either vampires or Gretchen in general. Or both. Whereas like if it's used on Gretchen, then this happens. Well, I can't really, like, to me, a break is just, hey, I don't have to focus on a comic for a while. Or I don't have to focus on, I don't know, some other primary art thing. That is what a break is to me. Other than that, I'm still drawing something. Unless on those rare days where I'm like, you know what, I'm taking a break, I'm just not going to draw today. Which is a very weird thing. It's like, man, I'm not drawing today. This is weird. It's like, you're like, I'm not drawing? Is this illegal? But yeah, I think on some streams I'll start working on card art. Just to get the ball rolling. Hello, raccoon. Idea Gretchen as a new pig Pokemon. Using her pheromones to lure and prey. Isn't that already Salazzle? Isn't that exactly what Salazzle does? Unless it's just to lure in mates. But even then, I mean, that's still prey, technically, for her. Because she's trying to make a harem. Yes, welcome to the Thibal Studies. I just like that they toss in information like that in Pokemon, and every once in a while does it ever get used in like the anime. Because most of the time they always treat Pokemon as just, oh, we're just, you know, chilling and just having a happy time, like there's nothing really going on with them aside from, you know, eating berries and shit and surviving. That's kind of it. But then every once in a while you get like episodes where they actually use the lore from the Pokedex, and it's fucking terrifying. Damn, you've been following me that long. I'm glad you've been enjoying my work so far. Hopefully my future ones are just as good. Oh yeah, I mean, Gary had 10 badges, and all that really did was just drum up, oh, is there going to be like a future Pokemon game? Which of course there was. But none of the badges he had even became badges in like a future game. Unless they did and I just didn't notice. But, because like even when they made Ho-Oh, who shows up in episode 1, they straight up said like, we just threw that in. Not really thinking about if there even was going to be a continuation of Pokemon. They just threw it in there just for the sake of suggesting that there are Pokemon yet to be discovered. Which confuses the hell out of me on how that works in Pokemon's world. Because they have several regions, and in each region, of course, you know, has Pokemon that don't appear in other regions. But then it's like, when do they discover this shit? Or when is it classified as discovering if they've already existed? Damn, since 2017? Fuck. That's still quite a long time. Especially, like, cause, like, what? I started IHAT in 2015? In, like, August? So, yeah, shit. Oh yeah, they retcon a bunch of shit in Pokemon like all the time. Like, remember when Baby Pikachu existed? Or Old Man Scyther? Or hey, here's a Charizard that's like twice its size, or 3 times its size. Pika Blue. Ah. Oh yeah, Diamond Onyx. Yeah, like there's so many like bullshit Pokemon that they've added in. Or the only other talking Pokemon that wasn't fucking Psychic or Meowth was a fucking Ghastly. Unless there was a few others that they probably tossed in since then. It's like, oh, here's a Ghastly that wants to keep up spiritual traditions, and then he just decides to fuse Venusaur and Blastoise together because he could. Oh yeah, Giant Dragonite and Giant Tentacruel. Or when that old man held a gun to Ash, that was fun. And then Ash caught like 30 Tauros for some fucking reason. Like, why? Ash struggles to catch one Pokemon. Why the fuck would he spend his time catching 30? Oh yeah, Pink Butterfree before Shinies was even a thing. Yeah, Gen 1 had some fucking wild times. I'm surprised they actually didn't commit to Bill being turned into a Pokemon. I'm surprised they didn't commit to that. They just made him a guy stuck in a costume. My question is, when he got turned into a Pokemon, what happened to the, like, did he just use, like, DNA and put himself in the machine, or was he, like, practicing with a teleport or some shit? Because you gotta remember, he's the guy who came up with the PC transfer stuff. So I think that was more of a reference of the movie The Fly. So it makes you wonder, what the fuck was he doing with that machine? Because obviously he was you know, resurrecting fossils too. But it was just like, wait a minute, what required you to be in the machine yourself? No, I haven't heard of Pokemon Clover. There's been a lot of Pokemon fan games. Only like one of which did I ever play. I remember playing Pokemon Gold and Silver on ROM before it came out in America. So me and my brother knew exactly what to do playing that game. And the sad part is that game was covered in gibberish. So we had to like decipher what the fuck was even being discussed in that game and figure it out. Like there was like no guides at the time. Because this was like early internet shit. So we slowly figured out that game. Thank you for the follow, Jet Seattle Raccoon. ROM hack based on 4chan. Oh yeah, I know there's a lot of Pokemon hack games. They're really well done, from what I've noticed, from what I've seen. I remember playing fuck, what was it called? It was like the fake Pokemon Black and Pokemon Diamond, or Pokemon Jade and Pokemon Diamond. It was oh god, that's gonna get to me now. Pokemon Jade. What the fuck was it called? It was like Electro Monsters or something like that. Telefang, there we go. Telefang was actually really cool. No, there was these bootleg games called Pokemon Jade and Pokemon Diamond at the time, and they were actually just bootleg. Well, not even. Well, yeah, they were bootleg versions of Telefang, which is like a similar game to Pokemon, but like instead of capturing the monsters, you got their cell phone numbers. And during battle, each monster had like a certain number of turns of when they could show up when you called them, based on their I think it was based on location or something. But like during battle, you would like call one of them, and it would say like, okay, I'll be there in 3 turns or whatever. So you had to like survive the battle until they could show up, and then you could use them during battle. I think it was like the stronger they were, the longer it took for them to show up. Pokemon Brown. Turns out releases Flora sends to soon nearby Pokemon. Ha! Okay, so she uses the sense to soothe Pokemon. That's not too bad. I mean, it's similar to other Pokemon who do that. Like grass Pokemon usually do that. But yeah, back in the day, Telefang was like the OG bootleg Pokemon. Because it wasn't Pokemon. That game was funny though. Because it was bootleg, every time I beat somebody in that game, it would tell me to fuck off. I was like, well shit. Fuck you too. Those were good times. Oh, thank you. Eventually I'll make more avatars. I just gotta put time into it. But yeah, I still enjoy Pokemon. Just every once in a while. Well, as of late, they've been making a lot of questionable decisions. But I still enjoy the series. Oh. Kitty's a baby. You gotta protect the baby. You're probably just like, my cat's a little shit, needs to be pampered. I don't know. I was watching a video of a guy debating on if he wanted to have kids, so he rented a raccoon who was supposed to have like a similar it's supposed to be similar to having like a young like a 4-year-old or something like that. Shit was funny. Although, to be fair, I do like raccoons, so that worked out. I think the only raccoon I've shown is Becky, since she's part raccoon. I know I have raccoon characters, probably just haven't uploaded them yet. I'll have to check. Fat cat. Gorilla Glue, what the hell? It's actually skinny. Piggy nose. Do that. Okay, I think we're good on this. Just gotta add in some blush. I'll put this in another folder because I want to do 2 different blushes. Sheet hog squeal. Now let's have a different layer for this one. Seems too much. I think 50 or 60 would be the highest. I think 60 is fine, but I can always just turn it on and off. Okay. Yes, Big Picky. I've never played Warframe. I've seen it, but I've never played it. I've seen a lot of Rule 34 of them. Although most of the time it's just kind of like random and whatever. It's like it's not bad, but it wasn't like wowing me. They have a Warframe, huh? Originally it could swallow unlimited enemies. Jesus. I still laugh at the Yu-Gi-Oh card Gingerbread House, where not only does it do Vor, but then it also just spits out the monster and makes them fat. So it was a Vor and weight gain card put together. And then, of course, you have the big bad wolf who did Vor. I was just like, yep, somebody knew what they were doing when they made these. And then later on in Arc 5, you get the weight gain food stuffing cards. Which surprisingly, did those cards ever release? I don't think they did. It's always weird when they don't release cards that they show off. I'll have to look them up, but yeah, it was in Arc 5 where the Intermates and Odd Eyes got stuffed. And then I think they explode after that. I mean, similar to what happened to Sapphire Dragon in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I think they exploded. It's been a while. If not, then it was definitely Sapphire Dragon that exploded. But yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Will always do shit like that, where they just make cards that just don't exist for like a decade, and then they show up and it's like, guys, you made time for the artwork and everything. You made the cards in the fucking anime. Aside from, you know, changing up some abilities here and there to make it more either balanced or make more sense, it's weird that you wouldn't release those cards around when they were popular and, you know, relative, or yeah, not relative, relevant. It's like, hey guys, remember this popular card from like 30 years ago? And it's like, what? Yeah, we're gonna release it now, and everyone's gonna be like, cool. It's not a good card now. But cool that you released it, I guess. I guess I'll collect it. That's kind of it, really. You get that card just to have it, whether it's a good card or not. And that's even if you care about it. Or you'll have the fucking the situation with Airneos where the card just straight up can't be reprinted for whatever fucking reason. Whether it's because the artist has the copyright over it or some other legal nonsense. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the artist because there's nothing else that makes sense. Oh yeah, Shuttleroid. Because I guess the shuttle itself is copyrighted by NASA. But then at that point, just make a new goddamn shuttle. Like, make new artwork for it. I don't know what else to really say on that. I mean, I guess the same thing would go for Airneos, but Airneos is more of a specific situation. What I find weird is that they made a card for the Neos cards, and you could tell it originally had Airneos on it because its wings are there. But instead of, like, you know, just removing the monster from it, they just moved him further down in the artwork, so he's like barely visible. So that part doesn't make any goddamn sense. If it was a problem, you would remove the monster. You wouldn't keep him there. So that already raises more questions on what the fuck is going on with those cards. It's like, you don't just move the monster. That's way more work than just clicking a button to move to erase him entirely. Like, something is up, and I'm very curious on what the details are. But Shuttleroid, I feel you could just change the artwork for that to make him look less like the NASA shuttle. Because aside from the anime, because I think Shuttleroid appeared in the anime, either that or the manga. But aside from that, it's like, I think there are certain cards you could just change their artwork. Like, they did that for that lobster thing, because that one was plagiarism. But they changed up that. And then they've been editing cards since forever, so I don't know why they don't just do that. Goddess of Whim. I have to look her up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, back in the day, they just kind of poorly put over artwork for some cards. Although some of them did have decent edits, or just flat out had new artwork and overall, just to make up for whatever the hell the card was. Like Ultimate Offering and Dankido to Cure Master, Water Emotics, and so forth. I still like old school Harpy Lady, where she wasn't wearing a jumpsuit. She was just wearing the stripper outfits and all that. Or how Cyber Armor had fucking dominatrix needles poking out of it, because that was the whole point. But, you know, apparently Western Yu-Gi-Oh cards are for babies. Apparently. Or just TCG cards, whatever you want it. Yeah, that always pissed me off, where it's like, oh, we're gonna reduce the bust size for certain monsters. Or all of them. And it's like, and you know why, is because they're marketing the game for kids. Which in Japan they didn't give a fuck. They just said, "Nah, man, we're gonna have our titties." Good on them. That's why for my card game, I'm gonna make the cards the way I intend them. So if I make a card with big ass titties, it's gonna have big ass titties. That's why I made the card Booby Trap. I should be able to show that one. Let me find it. Cards. Sinister Society. Yeah, that's why I made these two. I'll just put them next to each other. Because I was like, why not? Just give her explosive boobs. There we go. My work here is done. Although nowadays, if I were to make the Bad Bombers, I would take away the name up here and put them down here as the tag. Because nowadays, cards have tags now, so that way I don't have to fuck up their names. But yeah, like, I do not like censorship to that degree. Well, yeah, for nowadays the video games for Yu-Gi-Oh, or not even the video games, the game nowadays for Yu-Gi-Oh is like good luck. Do a stream of me going through all the cards. Some of the cards I won't be able to show on stream because like there's literally a card of Chewy naked, who's like enticing the screen, so because it's like a support card. So yeah, some cards I won't be able to show. So I would have to like preemptively look at the cards before I show them on stream. Which isn't hard. Like I could just have them on one screen and look over them before I show them. But yeah, that we could do that sometime. Maybe not this stream, but maybe like next week. I've got everything I wanted. But yeah, I just don't like the idea of censoring. Content, especially if that content wasn't even made for kids to begin with, or at the very least, you know, if it's a game that's for an older audience, if kids get into it, that's up to, you know, the parents to figure that shit out, because it's fucking stupid to have to dumb it down for everybody else because of certain kids not being told what a boob is. It's not like they haven't seen their parents walk around naked around the house before. Oh, there already is a card called Booby Trap. Yeah, that was the one I showed already. Well, it's called Implant Bomb, I guess. So yeah, I could make another card and call it Booby Trap. So yeah. Unless I already did. Is it even in here? No, I called it Booty Trap. That's what it was. Yeah, this is the Booty Trap one. Yeah, this one was a pun. So yeah. That's why I got thrown off. I was like, didn't I already do that? I'm like, no, I made this one. So yeah. At some point I will, you know, make more cards that do stuff. Good, our influence is spraying the sponsors. AFK had defeated. Yeah, eventually I'll make a actual Booby Trap card. Need to do this. next? My brain is starting to turn off. See Big Butt go brrr. Yeah, when you see a fat ass, your brain just goes brrr. Just turns off. It's like, okay. He's like, well, I've seen everything now. Okay, so this is pretty much done. I just need a background or something for it. I don't know, just do some quickly improvised background. Yeah, like all the bad bombers have like risque trap names. Like one of them is Trojan Mother. And the whole idea is that basically the bad bombers gain immortality, or at the very least can recover from getting destroyed or torn apart or whatever. So they decide to stuff themselves with explosives and basically kamikaze with their targets, and then blackmail companies or whatever to buy bad bomber insurance, so that way they don't get blown up. And that's basically the lore for that group. Misfortune, yeah, that'd be a good one. Linear burn's not too bad. I just need it for something else, though. Let's see. I can do this. Then we'll do this. Just a little bit. Am I a fan of the Templeton scene? Of course. Cold Steel. Sorry, once I see Cold Steel, well, I know it has a J in the middle, but once I see Cold Steel, all I can think of is the powerful OC character Cold Steel the Hedgehog. Behold the ultimate OC, Cold Steel the Hedgehog. That'll never get old. That will last until the end of time. I know it. Okay. Is there anything more I want to do to this? Maybe give her like some form of an underglow. Underbelly glove. I think that'll be fine. Overlay, no. I don't want it to be too prominent, so let's just lower it down to like 50. Yeah, that's fine. Not trying to go super crazy on it. I really want to say not to go ham on this, but then I keep catching myself because of the pig puns. I'm like, god damn it. Or you know what? Let's try this as a different color this time around. Let's try white and see what happens. Ooh, that one's not bad. I like this one. Let's lower it to like 50. Yeah, I like that. Let's just... do this real quick. Dead cells. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my work. I try. God knows I try. I think after this stream, though, I'm probably gonna take a nap. Semi-running on E. Not completely, but enough where I'm like, I'm kinda tired. That's okay, I'll be fine. Still got another hour or so before I need to stop. I was like, what was I doing with this pick, with this square? I was like, oh yeah, I was doing this. Because I wanted to delete some of these edges. There we go. This one looks... yeah, they look about fine. I was like, what the fuck was this square for? Star Fox is still my absolute favorite. Oh yeah, Star Fox is so fucking fun, but hopefully they make a better new game without unnecessary gimmicks. It's literally all everybody wants. Oh yeah, Crystal with the potbelly. Yeah, there's that one Crystal pick in the Fat Lowers Club as well. At least I think it's her. She should be in there. Fuck, let me check. Be weird if she wasn't, because she's definitely one of the popular characters. Crystal. Yeah, she's in the... which set is this? She's in the third wave of year 1. Oh goddamn, my freaking model thing keeps showing up. Now I need your tag or marker. Or my name. Ad's name. Where my name? There, my name. To think This isn't Gretchen's final four. She gonna be so fat in her storyline. If I'm a fat artist, I drew Rouge or Crystal at least one. Yeah, I'm a furry artist. If they were gonna be drawn, period. I didn't even have to be a fat artist. I was just a furry artist. That was inevitable. That was destined. It's not even a prophecy. It's just a matter of waiting. I think I've seen. I mean, I don't know if I've seen that comic, but I know I've seen that artist name. I'd have to look and see. Let me see. Google, because I know it'll show up. And then I just grab the username. Copy. Because luckily we have the internet, and finding shit isn't really hard. It's just a matter of where. It's one of those things where it's like, do I want to go on this site or do I want to go on this site? I'll just click on this just to see if I've seen it. Because I know I've seen this name. I've probably seen it looking at the artwork. But I probably skimmed over some parts. Because it kind of just depends on what's going on, but I think I've seen this. It's been a while. They had to make a zip for it, so you have to go page by page. Yeah. That's why I use Dropbox, not only because it's easier to manage the artwork on there and not have to deal with Patreon's nonsense every once in a while, but it also makes it easier to get the folders for each artwork. Am I a fan of burps and hiccups? Since I have all my characters do loud burps and sometimes hiccup, I would say yes. Yes, I am. And I guess I'll just give her a drop shadow just so it's not looking like she's floating. And you get some random ass fucking shadow. I've never been really accurate with shadows. So I bet you big, that's all that matters. Do I want to get fancy with it? I mean, there wasn't really much else to do to it, so I might as well. Yeah, I'm not too. I'll be honest. I'm not too into the whole farting thing. I know some people are into it, but just not me. If I'm ever commissioned to draw it, I'm perfectly fine drawing it and stuff like that, including other stuff like scat or whatever. But if I was commissioned to draw that stuff, I'm more likely to not post it on my page just because I'm not into it personally. But if someone commissioned me, I don't have a problem drawing it, but it's just not my thing. Yeah, that's if I open up for commissions again, which I might next month. I was gonna do it next week, but something came up, so I'm not gonna do it next week. I'll probably do it the week after. And save, because I think I'm pretty much done with this. I could turn this into a card. The question is, what would I do with it? I mean, I'll probably think of that later in the future. Okay, so we did Gretchen. Finished her up. Can close this one. Now I'm just like, do I feel like doing anything, or should I just call it for today? You know what? I think I might just call it for today. I'm still kind of drained from working on or let me put this back up. Still kind of drained from doing jams all night. Please let those assholes finally inspect the house I'm working on so I can get paid. Right? Could always draw how future Snake Girl would look. Well, I'm working on her comic still. I can, well, actually, I can't show a page. I think, honestly, I think the only page I could show is maybe page 1. Let me see. Because of the shit that's going on in her comic. Or I could at least show the cover. There's page 1, page 3. I can only show page 1 and page 3 in the cover. So I'll just show the cover, just for the hell of it. Would a giant banana be a good card? I mean, nothing's stopping me. So yeah, like here's the cover for it. So I am working on it. So once Black Circus gets to like page 8 or 10, then I'll start posting it publicly. Excuse me. I-Hat is on page 9 of its current chapter. So once that reaches page 10, I'll start posting that one too. And it's gonna be one at a time for now, just because I've been a little bit slow at cranking out pages lately. So I'm working on trying to get faster at it again. So once I get that into a steady pace, then I'll post more pages a week. Well, because in this chapter is where all the war starts happening, so it's getting there. Yeah, I hope everything goes well for you guys as well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it for today, just because I'm a little bit tired from working on jam stuff. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing the late night stream on Picardo. So I'll probably either be working on Black Circus or some other risque art. Then yeah, I'll pick back up on Tuesday, because that'll be my stream schedule again. So yeah, thank you. Thank you everybody for coming. Sorry that this one's a little bit shorter by an hour. I'll try to not make it so short. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I'm glad you liked everything that I was doing. That reminds me, I'll post the Gretchen pic, as well as link the video to Jam's coloring a little bit later. But yeah, thank you for everybody for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, I'll see you Tuesday, alright? You guys take care. Bye-bye.